Just out here checking my cams. I got one camera set up on this public land. I'm probably gonna be setting up another one for late season here. I haven't checked this camera here since I hunted way back in November during the rut. But I just came across a big shed here. This is one of the big bucks that was in here last year that I was looking for sheds too. Right in all this nice grassy bedding, probably nighttime bedding. Look at the size of this thing. I saw this buck last year with another 10-pointer. The 10-pointer was a little bit, oh my god, that's heavy. The 10-pointer was a little bit shorter, but a little wider. I think one of these bucks, either this big 8-pointer or the 10-pointer, was hit on the road because it was a big buck that had shedded, that got hit probably, you know, March or so with big bases like this. Because I didn't have any pictures of this deer. Well, there was a big 10-pointer here this year. That could have been this buck. But this thing is fully mature. Look at the mass on that. Wow. What a beast. Shed season hasn't even started, and I've already found this one. I found one in October scouting. And then I found another one during gun season. Got 3 sheds this fall. This is by far the nicest. This is almost nicer than anything I found last year. He's literally dying. Doesn't look like this buck is shot. It hasn't been super cold. You can tell there's hardly any snow. I don't know what's killing this deer. He's literally breathing yet. There's some life in them, but not a whole lot. Well, finally came across something. It's not a shed, but it's a dead buck from many, many years ago. And it's pretty crazy. I can tell someone walked right by it. I don't know what made me follow this guy's tracks. I've only been following his tracks for probably 20 yards, just taking the easiest path of resistance. And I almost walked right by it like he did. I was gonna cross on the other side of that fallen down tree and go further that way, but I came up over this way. You can see this guy's tracks right here. These are my tracks. The snow's a lot harder today because it's probably colder out than whenever he was here. You can see his tracks just come up like this, and I got right here when I saw it. Look at that, how good that blends in. Oh my god. And you can see his tracks just go right down. Man, I'm gonna get a picture of this and I'll pick it up. I can't believe no one found this, not even like the first year, because usually the first year the whole body would be exposed right on top of this grass, really easy to see. But this has been sitting for years. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart when I try and dig it out of the mud here. All right, here we go. Looks like at least a 10-pointer. Oh man, this is pretty weak. I'm gonna have to shut the camera. I have to get that out, otherwise I'll break it. You can see the vertebrae are still connected. Jawbone's still here, way down in the mud. I feel like I'm uncovering a dinosaur fossil. Look how it's just buried in there in this frozen mud. Looks like a pretty young buck too. See, the teeth are pretty sharp, not very worn. Probably a 2 or 3 year old, judging by his rack and by his teeth. So try and get it out here. All right, there he is. 9-pointer. Well, actually 8-pointer, never mind. Yeah, that thing dead. It's been dead at least 2 years, I'd say. I don't know, it's hard to say. It almost looks like around the bases. You see that like serrated line right there? It almost looks like he was like shot or died in late season here, like December or January. Like you can see that line there. Normally that's not there, you know. My dad killed a buck in late season, and that was about like that, maybe a little bit more. Ate away at the bone there, like before it was going to shed. But yeah, first find of the year while shed hunting. Haven't found a shed. Well, I guess I did find that giant 4-point earlier in the video back in December, but no freshies this year yet. It's February 2nd, I think today, 2nd or 3rd. Sweet. Well, just found my first shed of the year. Looks like a little 2.5-year-old. I called Cole about 15 minutes ago to tell him about this spot and how we should come back here on Saturday for pretty much a full day shed hunt, because there's a lot of really good sign in here. I'm not sure if this place can legally be hunted. Judging by the sign I've seen, I don't think so. But anyways, I just got into this. I was down in the river bottom stuff more earlier where I found that dead buck. I've got into this super big hardwoods here. You can see this trail behind me. There's another trail going back that way. Just super beat down trails in the snow here. And I got up to this little melted off point right here underneath these big oaks. And I just was on the phone with Cole. And I just stopped here and looked over to my left, and sure enough, there's a shed sitting there. These deer, when the snow's still on the ground like this in February, you got to really key in on these melted off spots, because why the heck would a deer want to lay down in the snow, you know, when they can just walk 100 yards over here and lay down in this nice little melted off spot. This might be somewhat south facing. It's just like a tiny little knob right here. It goes down maybe like 5-10 feet of elevation that way, and kind of just a little bit of a knob right here where stuff can melt off quicker. So it's right there. I guess it is kind of on a trail. There is a trail like right here, and another trail going that way, another trail going up that way, trail going up that way. There was a trail going down that way, and obviously the trail right there that I was on. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's like 7 or 8 trails all merging right here. This would be an awesome spot for a trail camera. All beat up. There's some big bucks in here. He's snapping off the main beam like that. Get some pictures here and I'll pick it up. All right, here we go. Froze down. Pretty heavy at the main beam right there. Pretty thick. It's actually thicker out here where it's broken than when it is at the base down here. But yeah, pretty good tines on them. I'd say definitely 2-year-old, maybe small 3-year-old, but yeah, nice little shed. I'd say, what is it, like early February now, 2nd or 3rd today. Maybe like 40% have dropped, I'd say. So not all of them are on the ground yet. It's a little early yet, but got to get out to these public lands if you want to find them before other people. So sweet. If that's all I find today, I'll be happy with that. That and that dead buck. So sweet. Let's go. Just got a nice one. Another 4-point size, but this one looks a little bigger. Whew. Man, we got to come back here for sure. Oh, there's a lot of deer in here. Just kind of slowly working my way back. It's getting a little bit later. It's like 4:30. Right there. Just not really on a deer trail, but there's just tracks everywhere. I don't know if they're just browsing on all this little brush and stuff here, but boom. I'm heading right back towards the river bottom here. Definitely more sign down here than where I found the last shed. Oh man, that's a nice one. I'm just looking around. Oh man, waited all year to finally pick some of these up. Be cool if there's another one around, but get some pictures of that one. All right, here we go. Still a little blood on that one. Like I said, probably, at least 40 or 50% of the bucks have probably dropped. Really good color. Look at that. That's got some pretty decent mass to it too. That's got to be at least a 3-year-old. Maybe a 4-year-old. That's pretty thick. But anyways, awesome. That'll probably be one of my nicer ones all year, or at least top 10. It's hard to find sheds like that. Man, it's nice. Really, really good color. I really like it when they're nice and brown like that. That probably dropped, man, who knows? Within this week, probably. I don't know. Sometimes the blood stays on there longer. Other ones sometimes have more blood. Some don't really have hardly any blood when they drop. But yeah. What an awesome way to end this walk off. Well, I'm not done yet. I gotta pick this up and get out of here. I got at least a half mile to get out of this stuff. We're definitely coming back on Saturday. Well, back out again today. Yesterday I found those 2 sheds and that old deadhead. Today I'm kind of in the same area, again on public land. A lot of boot tracks here. A lot of other guys have been out. Looks like someone's out here probably today, because I saw a set of tracks that were really fresh. The snow was all really loose, like my tracks. But there's this little cattail bedding area here, and on the south side, it's all already been walked. There's actually more sign over there, so there had to been a couple sheds over there. But I just found one here on the north side of this little marsh where there's more snow yet. There's not really a whole lot of snow here in general, but looks like a pretty decent, maybe 3 or 4-year-old buck shed way up there. Whew. As soon as I got to this side, I started seeing less or no boot tracks. So I'll have to walk this side a little more. That side, there had to have been something over there, but I'm sure it got picked up already. Just kind of coming up here, and I looked right up there. So let's go pick it up. Are you kidding me? That looks old. Older. A really, really early drop. You see this right here? That's all chewed up by coyotes. Coyotes move sheds around more than you'd realize. Probably last year I found like 50 sheds, and I'd say at least 10 of them, or a dozen, had these chew marks. And look at how early that dropped. That's a fresh shed, it's gotta be. But look at the base, there's like no wax ring. That deer is either dead or really sick. Let me get some pictures and I'll pick it up. I don't know, it's hard to say if that's from this year. It's just really weird. Really nice buck though. Look at how heavy that is. Big brow tine, bladed kinda. Short points, but man, it's got to be at least a 3 or 4-year-old buck. Pretty heavy, good base, just short tines. But I'm just confused on when this dropped. With the base being so dark like that, it looks like it, could have dropped last year. I mean, it's only February 4th, I think, today, or 3rd. So this is either like a December drop, but you think the snow would have preserved the wax ring a little bit. It hasn't been super warm. It doesn't look worn. I mean, old enough to be last year's. With all the pressure in here, I don't know if it can be last year's. But wow, that's just really confusing. That could have dropped in November or December, or I don't know what happened with that, but sweet find nonetheless. This definitely didn't fall right here though. Like I said, coyotes have been really chewing on this and dragging it around. So sweet, if that's all I find today, it's still a success. Yeah, I'm thinking that's got to be last year's shed. It's just in really good condition for, you know, sitting out a year. It's like I said, it's got to be from last year because it's so early yet. And I was actually seeing some rubs in there that were still green, and there was shavings on top of the snow. So there's bucks in here that are still holding. So I highly doubt that buck dropped that long ago. With the, you know, with the base being a little bit dark and there being no wax ring at all for early February, that's kind of weird. So pretty sure it's last year's drop.